Hey there everybody, welcome to my kitchen. My name is John of cookingwithjohngruber.com. Yes, that's my website. Go check it out, cookingwithjohngruber.com. I've got a lot of great recipes and classes and courses that you might be interested in if you love cooking, and you don't even have to love cooking. You just want something quick on a budget, maybe something maybe healthy and family friendly. That is the place to go. I also do a couple of solo suppers as well. So if you are single like myself, you can just go ahead and cook for yourself and still enjoy just smaller portions. I love it. But today we are going to be making a vegetarian dish. This is it's called veggie boats. I don't really know what else to call them, and pretty much you've seen some iteration prior to this video. But today we're going to be doing something just a little different because I have some leftovers I want to use up, and you know I'm always about cooking with with leftovers and cooking on a budget. So I'm going to get started in just a moment. Let me get the ingredients. This recipe cannot be any simpler. The first thing you need to do is preheat the oven for 350. That seems pretty simple, right? The next thing you need to do is find a sharp knife, and I don't know where mine is. Aha, I found it. Okay, so I have some cleaned, washed zucchini, and I'm going to be cutting these in half so that I can make, you know, 2 long halves. And I'm also going to cut off the stump end. I don't really know what else to call it other than a stump. And that is taken care of there. And the next step, because this one kind of has like an odd curve to it, I'm just going to cut it hopefully down the middle. There we go. Now, I have a melon baller that I'm going to use to scoop out a little bit of the center. Don't worry, we're not throwing that center away. We are going to be cooking it in another recipe. You can put it in soups. You can use it as like a thickener. You can even boil it and mash it with potatoes and just toss it in your mashed potatoes. There's a lot that you can do with the center portion of the zucchini. Now I'm not going too deep with the spoon because I don't want it, I want zucchini. So I only took off just a little bit. Now, if you don't have a melon baller, just use a teaspoon, a grapefruit spoon, if you have one with the teeth on the edge. Okay, maybe I am going to go just a little deeper, but just taking that off was just kind of gave me like a guideline of what I can do or how deep I can actually go with shaving that. Now this does have like a boat, and it's about a 1/2 inch. It's like a little 1/2 inch dip in there. It looks like a little canoe. How about that, a veggie canoe? They're not veggie boats, they're veggie canoes. Okay, so the next step, just to do the other one, it's kind of just coming up like ice cream would, or curling up, which is really good. Okay, now part of this recipe calls for mashed parsnips or mashed carrots. I so happen to have mashed carrots, again from previous recipe. Now I also want to take a bowl. I know my kitchen so well. And I'm going to just use half of the mashed carrots that I have here, and they're just seasoned on top with parsley. So I'm going to take half of them, a spoon, and I'm just going to oh man, just gonna put this right in here. Okay, so that's half of it because I'm only going to work on one zucchini right now. And then I'm going to also then have a little bit of this ricotta cheese to mix in it. Now, this recipe sometimes calls for like a beef or an onion mixture. I'm just keeping it very plain, very easy, very vegetarian. And it'll just be good. All right. So I'm going to do let's see, 1/4 cup of ricotta. Now it is broken up over two pieces of zucchini, and I don't need any more cheese. And I'm just stirring this up. I'll stir it up as well as I can. It looks like a pretty good mixture. And I'm going to do this to, again, both of the zucchinis, but here's just half of it for now. And then you just load up half of the zucchini boat with this mixture, with half the mixture, and it will probably overflow your boat. Overflow the boat. Yeah. All right. That looks pretty good. I'm going to just add a little bit more. Because the worst that's going to happen is it will come out, and you know what? That's okay. Nothing in this world needs to be perfect. But if you're like me, it kind of does. All right, so you have to then just line this little pan with your boats, and you want it to be as stood up as possible. So I'm putting that on the edge, and then I'm going to do the same thing with this other one. Once I get all 4 of these in, I'm going to top it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, because I like cheese, and it'll add a nice, not a salty flavor, because nobody likes a lot of salt. Well, maybe if you like that, if you like things so salty that it crunches when you bite into it, then maybe you're one of those people that like salt. But this here is relatively low in sodium. All right, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to this other smaller zucchini. I'm going to scoop out the centers, or I'm going to cut it in half, scoop out the centers, and then top it with more of the mashed carrot and ricotta mixture. And then grate some Parmesan cheese over the entire thing. I will be putting a little bit of water at the bottom of the pan before I put it in the oven, and that'll just help steam it. So that's one little trick that I am going to do that you probably won't see. I probably won't be able to film that, just to make this video shorter. Okay. So let me take care of this next video, or this next zucchini, which already has a weird shape to it, and I'll be right back with the finished product. Again, very simple, and I can't wait to taste it. I'll see you soon. Dinner's ready, and it took about a half hour in the oven. What I did was I did cover the pan with foil to soften and kind of steam the vegetables before I baked them. Then what I did is I took out my servings from that and just placed them under the broiler for another 10 minutes maybe, and then it was able to get this nice char topping and the cheese to melt. Very beautiful, smells amazing in my house. I wish you were here. And I'm ready to dig into these, so I just have to make a quick salad for the side and I'll be all set. All right, thank you for joining me today on Cooking with John Grouber channel, and this is your healthy tip just for a vegetarian meal. It was my pleasure to be here, and I love you guys. I'm proud of you for joining me, and I will talk to you next time. Thanks.